Crazy week 16. Lots of crazy games, OT games, division clinchers, playoff clinchers. We got all of it in week 16 in the NFL slate. We had a lot of fun yesterday and over the weekend. We had football Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and we have it again tonight, Monday Night Football. Welcome to Play Action Takes, Apollo Media's NFL podcast brought to you by Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. We love Zing Zang over here. Zang responsibly all season long. Go get it before Christmas. You got 3 days till Christmas as we're recording this, 2 days as you're listening to this. Go get Zing Zang and stock up for the holidays today. And shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code PATNFL when you sign up. Play your first $5 and get $75 in bonus entries. That's using promo code PATNFL. Welcome to Play Action Takes, Paul Media's NFL podcast. I'm your host, Stone Strankman, joined always by Kush Patel. How we doing, brother?
Man, what a weekend of football. We had a lot of crazy last-second games, important division games, important playoff seeding games. Man, it's literally coming down to almost the last week this season.
It's insane how many divisions have not been won, how many playoff spots are actually open right now. It's getting chaotic. It's getting crazy. Your team's still alive, still kicking.
Yep, they are.
Somehow, some way, the Texans squeak it out. But week 16 was really fun, and it really kicked off on Thursday night. I think you took the Seahawks. I took the Rams. I was pretty high on the Rams, and I was right for about 3 quarters there. And it's a 2-score game late in the fourth quarter, and then it gets chaotic. The Seahawks get a 2-point conversion that probably shouldn't have counted. Like, I don't know what the rule book says. You can't advance the ball into the end zone on a fumble, but apparently on a 2-point conversion you can. I don't know. I don't have the rule book in front of me, so I don't know about that one, but it is what it is. Seahawks score 16 in the fourth quarter, make it all the way back. They score a touchdown to tie it in overtime, but just wait, there's more. They went for 2 instead of kicking the extra point because a tie wasn't going to do them any good in the tiebreaker for the division. Seahawks win that game 38-37. Chaos had started in week 16 on a Thursday night. It was incredible. It was a great game.
It was an insane game, man. The Rams at one point were up like 30-14, and I was like, all right, this game looks like not all the way over, but do I really trust Sam Darnold to come back in that way? No. He did. They did. Somehow, some way they did. They won in overtime, and what a game, and what a performance in the most important game of their season. After that game on Thursday night at about midnight, they found themselves as a #1 seed in the NFC.
Yeah, absolutely insane. Did not see that one coming, especially when they're down that many points in the second half. I'm just like, you know what? The Rams have got this in the back. They might put up 40 tonight. Matt Stafford, MVP, locked up. Had all of those things going through my mind. I think Thursday there was a basketball game that I was watching. I also had hockey on the TV at this time because the Stars were playing on the West Coast, so they started at 9 p.m. So I was watching everything. It was chaotic for my mind. It was chaotic for the scoreboard. It was chaotic for the leaderboard, the division title. The conference championship window might have to go through Seattle this season. It's just a crazy game. Balls of steel from Sam Darnold to come back in that one. They had a little bit of running game. And the best part is I texted you when Puka Nacua scored that touchdown in overtime. I was like, you called it. He had all this commotion, and it's going to be funny when he just goes off and like none of it matters. And then obviously that's not the game-winning touchdown because Seahawks came back, hit the 2-point conversion, win the game. And then Puka immediately, seconds after the game ends, he's already tweeting in the locker room about the refs.
That was a bizarre situation, and I believe he got fined for that by
he had
the
to have.
NFL. I think it was $25,000.
No shot he wasn't fined by that.
Yeah, something like that. Just the Puka Nacua stuff, and then the game itself. In my opinion, that made it the best Thursday night game of the season.
I don't think you can argue with that. Obviously, the Rams have been a part of 2 of the best Thursday night games that we've had this season against the 49ers, where Kyren Williams is about to go in overtime and win it. That's 2 overtime thrillers on Thursday night. So good for the Rams. Bad that they're on the losing end of it, but good that they're part of 2 really good games. Crazy way to kick off week 16, though. We'll move over to Saturday. First Saturday game of the NFL season was the Eagles and Commanders game, which was an absolute stinker. It was 3-0 there for a hot minute. It felt like it was not a good game. Eagles ended up winning that one 29-18. But the good game, another overtime game, another primetime game. Packers-Bears, the ghost of Aaron Rodgers Is he dead? Is it over? Is it finally over? The Bears finally get that win against the Packers, 22-16. They go to overtime. They kick the field goal to tie it at the end. Absolutely stellar second half, roughly, from Caleb Williams. And I said it on this pod. I was like, I'd like to just see a really good game out of Caleb Williams. That first half, I was like, man, he did it again. He just keeps doing it where he's just not doing anything. The second half, incredible from Caleb Williams, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. Hell of a comeback for the kid. Hell of a win for the Bears. They've pretty much locked up that NFC North Division title for the most part. I think they got to win one more game, or they need the Packers to lose one more game. But other than that, they've pretty much locked up that, and they're going to have home field for the first game at least in the NFC playoffs. Impressive from the Bears.
Yeah, I mean that first half wasn't great. But I've been saying it all year. This Bears team I don't know how they're doing it. They just find a way to play well, in the second half, late in games, and come back and win these games. And man, those throws in the fourth quarter and overtime by Caleb Williams were just amazing. Um, I didn't tweet this because I thought it might have been an unpopular opinion, but I'm gonna say it on the pod. Those throws that he made late in that game, it reminded me of Aaron Rodgers. Just the way, like, the arm, the accuracy, that last throw to win the game to DJ Moore. I mean, that was just pure Aaron Rodgers esque. He floated it up there with power, with accuracy, perfect ball, touchdown to win the game. And then the one that everyone was just going crazy over in the fourth quarter, where it's cover zero, he's getting blitzed,
Yeah.
and he just rolls and just throws it up to the running back of all people. And then the other thing on that play is the Packers two DBs miscommunicated, and it ended up essentially losing him the game. So and then I think that kind of goes back to missing Micah Parsons. I feel like if they had a healthy-ish Micah Parsons in that game, especially on that play, I think he affects it enough to at least get the sack or just force an incompletion. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's great by Caleb Williams because last year, he comes in and you think, or his rookie season, really, he just comes in, he thinks he can get away from linebackers and defensive ends. And you realize that this is the top 0.1% of athletes in the world that play this sport. Like, they're the best of the best. They're the fastest of the fastest. And he wasn't able to escape a lot of sacks. He was still able to get it out of a few. I felt like he escaped everything on Saturday night. It was just like, oh, this is like USC. Caleb Williams running around,
yes,
getting
yeah.
kind of doing whatever he wants in the backfield. If the pocket starts to collapse, he's like, all right, screw it. I'll just go up, down, sideways, out of the pocket, and now I'm free. I've got 15 yards to run towards the sideline. I can chunk it wherever I really want to. Someone's going to be open. It's backyard football now. The other big thing from this game is that Jordan Love went out pretty early. So they were throwing out Malik Willis, who did a fine job at the end of the day. Kind of did what he looked like a backup quarterback. He looked decent. He looked fine. He knew the offense. He knew what was going. He pushed the ball down the field enough. But no Micah Parsons, no Tucker Kraft. That team is starting to fall apart. And when you lose Jordan Love on top of that, that just it's a big stink. But it's still a huge win for the Bears.
Yeah, I think it's a huge win for the Bears just because, I mean, they've gotten dominated by this team in recent memory, um, and it propelled them to the top spot in the NFC North. Who would have thought the Bears would be here at this point in the season? I think after the first two games of the season, we talked about how freaking good the Packers looked,
Yeah.
and we're all putting them in the Super Bowl, and now they're probably not going to win their division, and the Bears look really, really good right now. They look so we're going to talk about another team that looks really confident and feels like they can win any game going on the road at home.
Mm-hmm.
They look like they can win. They look confident enough to where they feel like they can win any game on the road, at home. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and if they're getting home field for any moment in time in the playoffs, that's a nightmare situation for any team to go into. Did you see how freaking cold it was? They had those heaters that looked like a
Yeah.
giant furnace. I don't know, from like Stranger Things or like Star Wars, looked like something was going to build up and shoot like a laser beam out of it. That's what they're shooting towards the benches. That's how cold it was. So, yeah, that'd be an awful place to go play on the road. I know my team went on the road a few years ago to Kansas City when it was -4. I can't imagine what Chicago feels like just at 10. 15 degrees. Like that wind chill has got to be absolutely nuts. So not a fun place to go play. Those fans are hungry. That team seems hungry. So good win for the Bears. You know what? Two teams don't seem hungry and don't seem that they really want to win. Welcome
I think
back.
I know where you're going with this.
Welcome back, NFC South talk. Bucks, Panthers, Bucks. I don't like they threw that touchdown to Mike Evans in the first quarter, and I was like, yeah, Mike's going to have like 10 catches, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's going to be all this thing. Baker Mayfield's going to be talking shit the whole time. No, it just really wasn't that. It was 7-3, 7-3. That's what their scoreboard was for the 4 quarters for the Bucks. They end up losing 20-23 to the Panthers, who somehow tried to throw this game away. And then Baker Mayfield said, you know what? I don't want to win this game more than you don't want to win this game. Miscommunication from Mike Evans and Baker. Obviously, Mike stopped running the route because he realized that, hey, he's running around. I need to get open. And he did get open, but Baker didn't wait long enough, throws that pick at the end of the game when Mike's doing a zig route instead of a zag route, and then all of a sudden it's over. And I just felt really bad for Baker. Mike Evans was pissed again. I don't know if he went into the locker room screaming like he did through the tunnel last Thursday, but yeah, not a good loss for the Bucks. Obviously, 7-8, and you're not out of the division yet. You just need to win out now. And I don't know what the tiebreaker is in that situation because they didn't win both against the Saints, but I know the Panthers didn't beat the Saints, but it's chaos. No one wants to win this division. Don't let anyone into the playoffs is my solution. Just let the 8th team or the 9th team or whoever it is come into the playoffs instead of an NFC South champ.
Yeah, I mean, the Bucks have an easy-ish, schedule the last 2 games, but I mean,
Sure.
they just lost to the Panthers, so none of these games are going to be easy for them. They just don't look like they're playing their best football right now. I thought when they were like 5-1 or 6-1 or whatever, I kind of questioned it because the injuries were kind of starting to pile up, and they just have never been able to like recover from it. And Carolina Mike, man, the Panthers are on their way to the playoffs. It looks like.
All right, never mind. I'll allow the Panthers in the playoffs if Carolina Mike gets to perform at midfield during halftime for the first game.
That needs if they get in the playoffs, that has to happen.
God, I love Carolina Mike so much. But I mean, it's a good win for Carolina. I know I keep joking that no one wants to win this division. It still seems like that at the end of the day. I can't help it. But Rico Dowdle and company, they keep doing it for the Panthers. They just keep doing it, and I don't know. It just it's crazy. I saw a graphic. It's Pardon My Take that put it out. Barstool Sports, big podcast, whatever. They put out a graphic, and it was like every time that the Panthers have made the Super Bowl. So it's only been 2 times. And there was like, I think the Jags and the Panthers were playing their opening game the following season against each other. J-Lo got divorced. Jennifer Lopez got divorced. And then the Panthers made the Super Bowl. Those were like the 3 things that happened those years that certain things happen. Is the Jags and the Panthers lead off the next season against each other. J-Lo gets divorced. And then the Panthers made the Super Bowl. All 3 of those things, or 2 of those things have happened this year. The Panthers making the Super Bowl is the last thing to happen.
I don't know.
I'm not saying Destiny's going to get messed with, but it might not be. I don't know. Destiny might just be happening.
I don't know.
I hate both of these teams. That's all I can really say about that matchup. Before we get to our next matchup, I want to talk to you about Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code PATNFL when you sign up using our promo code PATNFL. Play your first $5, get $75 in bonus entries. It's football season. It's in full swing. It's week 16. It's about to be week 17. It's crazy. We've got college football playoffs going on. Go into Underdog Fantasy. It's the best place to get in on all the action. It's where you hit higher or lower on any stat, any game, any day. My favorite stat of the year has now been ripped from me with Tua Tagovailoa being benched. So my higher than 0.5 interceptions is no longer in use. I can't do that anymore. But, I might be riding a new guy. I might be riding Trevor Lawrence higher than touchdowns thrown in a game at 1.5. I think he's been doing that for like 3-4 weeks in a row now. He's been killing it. So Trevor Lawrence higher than touchdowns. And then if I'm feeling frisky, I'm going to hit Baker Mayfield higher than interceptions. He's the gunslinger. He's going to keep throwing it. He's going to hit an interception. You pair those 2 together with a bunch of other picks, you can get up to 5,000 times your money. Download the app today and use promo code PATNFL to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code PATNFL. Underdog, make picks, win money. Must be 18 or older, 19 or older in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or older in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing. Get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPEline at 1-877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY 467-369. That's Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code PATNFL. We love Underdog Fantasy. It's the best place to get in on all the action. With Underdog Unwrapped, you'll unwrap tons of promos all throughout the holidays. We've got boosts, gimme picks, deal reveals, and even some surprise sprinkled in. Now is the time to get in the game. That's the Christmas promo, 12/22 to 1/4. So starting today through the new year, through January 4th, you got special deals, promos, and all the good stuff with promo code PATNFL. Thank you to Underdog for sponsoring this episode. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready to admit something. This is a therapy session, right, Kush? I was wrong, and I'm ready to stamp this team as the nobody believes in us team, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Nobody believes in them, including myself. They might just fucking do it. I don't know. 34-20 in Denver, kind of controlled the whole game after the first half. Like, they felt really in control the entire second half. Trevor Lawrence is out there talking mad shit the whole time. Liam Cohen's talking mad shit. Sean Payton calls them a small market team. Well, a small market team can go out there and win those big market games, huh? So Jacksonville, 34-20. Trevor Lawrence was actually incredible in this game. 10 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. Good for him.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence has been playing very, very well. Ever since they blew the game against Houston, he's been playing really, really well. And I think Liam Cohen has these guys starting to believe. I mean, he's kind of playing that small market team, bulletin board material type, villain kind of team right now, and they're starting to buy into that. And Denver looks beatable at home.
I think that was the most shocking thing is that, like, we've talked up this defense for so long, and obviously the Packers put up a good number of points, but they won that game, and the defense kind of won it for them at the end. That Pat Surtain pick towards the end of that game in the late third quarter, early fourth quarter, like, kind of put a stamp on that one for the Broncos defense. This one, Trevor Lawrence kind of just did whatever he wanted. He's stepping up in the middle of the pocket, taking yards when he can on the ground. Travis Etienne's playing pretty good. The addition of Jacoby Myers cannot be understated at all for this Jacksonville team. You said, like, hey, this is a great pickup for him. I was like, yeah, I agree. Like, it's a good pickup, whatever. You said great. And you were right. I mean, his numbers aren't like crazy or anything, but the rest of the offense started to open up so much more. Brian Thomas Jr. is getting more action. Travis Etienne's getting more action. Like, Trevor Lawrence is able to throw more touchdowns. It's incredible what one guy that kind of plays in the slot, not a middling receiver by any means, but like just a fine receiver. He's not great. He's nothing special, but adding him to the mix has completely opened up this offense and scoring 34 on the road in Denver in a game that you kind of had to win in order to have a shot at the number one seed. It's still not necessarily yours, but you could get there now. And doing it in Denver in the cold as a Florida team was huge for a confidence boost and all the bulletin board material and all the things that go with it. Good for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, there was a lot of like stuff surrounding the game. You talked about Sean Payton's comments earlier about the small market. I'm not gonna say that it was just a random comment and that he didn't know what he was doing.
No.
I think he knew exactly what he was doing, and the Jaguars kind of took that, and I think those two words kind of like spurred them to this victory. Even after the game, the Jaguars social media team, they posted like the players, saying, "Oh, small market, huh? Small market, how like a small market team came in and win this game," like Liam Cohen said, and they kind of rallied around that the entire game, after the game, before the game, and then I didn't think Denver particularly played bad, but I think Jacksonville just went in there and took that game.
Yeah, and it's funny to call someone like a small market team in the NFL because, like, the NFL, free agency is kind of free agency. Like, you just go to a team where you think you're going to be paid or play the most at the end of the day. It doesn't really matter where it is, and a lot of the time, it doesn't matter where it is. Some people will be particular about it, like the superstars and everything. They're whatever. Small market doesn't really exist in the NFL. I don't feel like it does in the NBA or the MLB. Those two things matter. Like in the NBA, there's 15 guys. And if they don't want to go to, they're not going to want to go to Memphis in free agency unless that team's going to be absolutely insane. Hasn't happened once. Like Pau Gasol got traded there. Zach Randolph got traded there. Mike Conley got drafted. Like that grit and grind team that was kind of put together through draft and trades. No one signed there in free agency to go play in Memphis. No one really wanted to do that. In the NFL, they're just like, you know what? It's 3 years, $33 million. 21 of it's guaranteed. This one is $30 million, but 17 million guaranteed. I'm gonna go where the money is more, or I'm gonna play more. And I don't like the small market thing. It's kind of just trying to pick on someone for no reason with no actual backup to evidence there. Like I thought that was stupid, but that's Sean Payton for you. The new era of Sean Payton, the comeback version of Sean Payton. He's going to talk shit in the media, and he's never going to stop. So I do appreciate that from him. But at the end of the day, it's like, what's that for? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and then man, so I kind of want to talk about Jacksonville. I tweeted this out yesterday, and I said, man, Trevor Lawrence, he's playing. It's the best I've ever seen him play in this stretch. I mean, 2022 was a great football from him. This stretch, I think it's the best ever we've seen him since Clemson. He was pretty good. He was pretty amazing at Clemson, and I kind of made the argument like, look, even after the Sunday night football game yesterday, the Patriots barely beat the Ravens, who the Ravens are not a very good team. The Steelers edged the Lions in a close game, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. Denver lost at home to Jacksonville. Houston's, kind of getting going, but we don't know about them yet. I mean, this AFC is wide open, and I think a lot of the national media and a lot of fans around the country are not warming up to the idea that Jacksonville can make a Super Bowl run. But after that game, I give them every single chance in the world, man. They looked really good. They're playing the best ball I've seen them play in years. And I think shout out to Trevor Lawrence, because Trevor Lawrence is a guy that he knows what it's like to be 8-3 and not make the playoffs. He knows what it's like to have like a 1 or 2 win season like they did, last year. So I think Trevor Lawrence has done a great job being a leader this year and upping his play. I mean, he still had some of his interceptions early on in the season, but I think he's, and I think people have to remember it's a new offense for Trevor Lawrence. So it took a while, but it looks like Liam Cohen is getting the absolute best out of Trevor Lawrence right now. And I think Liam Cohen stamped his number 1 spot in Coach of the Year.
Yeah, and it's also a thing of just like maybe ignorance is bliss with that team, because Liam Cohen's 37, 35. Like I don't know how old he is. He's very young. I think the defensive coordinator's not even 40 yet. I think he's 39. The GM's like 34. It's like, hey, no one believes in us in the first place, and now we're starting to do it, and they still don't believe in us. What's the matter with that? Like, why does it matter to us? It doesn't. Let's just go out and win football games at the end of the day. And naivety, maybe, like they're just like they're naive and they don't care, and it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks or says about them. At the end of the day, they just want to go out there and win football games, and that's kind of what they're doing. I know you tweeted it out earlier today or yesterday, like, hey, maybe that Texans loss kind of propelled them into this. Like maybe they need a little kick in the ass, and some teams do need that. And maybe that's what it was for the Jags, or maybe it was just timing and figuring out the offense and then adding Myers into the fold and all that kind of stuff. Maybe that all just like put it into place for them, or maybe they needed a kick in the ass from the Texans game. I don't know what it is, but that Jags team is good. And sorry it took me this long to get there, Jags fans. My bad.
I'm sure Jags fans might come for you a little bit. They're a crazy bunch, but I'm sure they'll accept your apology. And one last thing on the Jaguars. I mean, imagine if Travis Hunter was healthy. This team would be even that much more scary.
Yeah, because we didn't even really get to see Travis Hunter a lot this year. The offense wasn't humming yet. They were winning a few games here and there. Like they beat the Chiefs early in the season. We're like, okay, maybe they're good. I don't know. It could be. And then they just keep winning. And then we lost Travis Hunter, obviously. But we'll see what he comes back as later. They said he's not out for the playoffs technically. Like he might be able to make a comeback then. I doubt it. There's just no way that he shouldn't come back for playoffs. Just let him see. Let him come back next year. This team's fine. They'll be okay without him. Um, but yeah, good for the Jacksonville Jaguars. You said that they're a crazy bunch. My timeline was a disaster yesterday.
Oh yeah, it was. The one thing I really enjoyed about this matchup was the Twitter war between Jags and Broncos fans. It was a delight to watch. It really
Yeah,
was.
and then you combine that with Dolphins fans fighting each other because they're so you had the Tua stands versus the Dolphins fans, and it was bad day on Twitter for me. Bad day, and yeah, that was tough. Last game before we get out of here, Steelers, Lions, fun one, a really fun one. I enjoyed this thoroughly. It was gross football, but it might have been the best Aaron Rodgers we've seen since before he went to the Jets. Like, I don't know if we've seen an Aaron Rodgers like this recently. He's slinging it around. You get a safety in there. You got all kinds of crazy shit. You got a player punching a fan or
Ah,
shoving a fan, whatever you want to call it. And you also had a controversial ending to the game. Like this game had it all, and everyone was talking about it. But I feel like we just kind of skimmed over it. We saved it best for last, I guess. Crazy game, crazy game. Steelers win 29-24, and maybe they shouldn't, and maybe they should have. I don't know what to take from that ending of the game.
yeah, that last play was just all kinds of crazy. I mean, I didn't watch it. Obviously, I was watching the Raiders and Texans game,
Yeah.
but after that game was over, I switched to the Lions and the Steelers, and I think it was the last drive. So I watched the last drive, and then the last play was just so many things happening, and I was like, I'm not an expert on the rule book, so I didn't really know,
Mhm.
what the right call was going to be. But man, the imagine being a Lions fan at that game. You see Jared Goff walking with that touchdown, and then it gets
Mhm.
taken off the board. That had to suck.
Yeah, as a fan of a team that won a crazy game where you walked it off with no time on the clock and all the things, Miami Miracle back in 2018, that was just a crazy game, and they counted and they won the game. It's like walk-off touchdown. Happens very rarely. This one was weird because, like, it was definitely pass interference on Amon-Ra St. Brown. But it's the last play of the game. Are you really gonna like, I don't know if
Yeah.
it was, like, blatant enough to call it for the last play of the game. If this is the second quarter, yeah, I'm calling that all day long. That's OPI.
I mean, the one thing I'll say about it is I think if Amon Ross St. Brown doesn't like
Put his
so
hands out.
obviously push him,
Yeah.
I don't think that's a flag, and that might be a Lions win.
Yeah, if he just runs into him, hands
Yeah.
down, hands at his side, the extension of the arms was a problem.
I
But
think
I
the other
saw
thing is, the linebacker just he kinda got, like, pushed back,
yeah.
and so I think that had a lot to do with it, and man,
I saw like
wow.
20 OPIs yesterday
Yeah,
across the league, and they called one, and it
there were a
happened to
lot
be
yeah, there
that
were a
one.
lot of them. There were a lot.
They happened to call that one. So crazy way to end that game. They call it a touchdown on the field, and then they come back. There's no time on the clock, and the ref was like, "On the play, you did score a touchdown, but there was offensive pass interference. Time has run out. There is a 10-second runoff. All the things that went with whatever that call was. So very funny that the call on the field was a touchdown. It was a touchdown, but and the fans are going crazy, and then it goes berserk. That place had to go crazy.
The referee did a great job of playing to the crowd there, I will
Oh,
say
that
that.
was like, I know I haven't watched wrestling, but I'm sure that's a WWE kinda moment right
Yeah.
there. It's that's a good one. Shout out to our wrestling boys, Kenny and Justin, for putting on those watch parties. They had a hell of a one last week with, John Cena. But, yeah, this game just kinda had it all. Aaron Rodgers was slinging it around, but then also DK Metcalf getting into it with the fan on the sideline, like, in the stands, like, grabbing him by the wig and shoving I don't what are we DK, buddy, that's that Ole Miss education showing.
I mean, that was that was bad. It was really, really bad, man. I mean, and that's the most important game of your season. I know they won the game, and I imagine he's either gonna get fined or suspended. I don't know which one, maybe both.
Yeah.
Um, you probably don't want to be punching a fan and when your team, has some important games like that coming up. And then, speaking of like that for both teams was such a big game. The Lions now are on the outside looking in. The Steelers, after the Patriots beat the Ravens later that night, they are the division leaders right now.
Yep.
And man, what a big game! so many big games this week, so many big games coming up the last 2 weeks of the season. I can't remember a season where we had like this this many big games like around the league in the last 3 weeks. And then playoff teams, there's only 2 teams that have officially made the playoffs in the AFC right now. Everything else is up for grabs. And then in the NFC, we've, the teams that have been on top for the entire season, the
Mhm.
Rams, they're not on top anymore. The Rams fall all the way down to like 5. The Seahawks are at 1. The 49ers are, they're going to make the playoffs. This is just insanity, chaos, crazy stuff going on, man.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And back to that DK Metcalf thing. The reason he didn't get a penalty or tossed from the game or anything is because the refs didn't see it. If the refs see that in action, I think
He's out of there. Yeah,
I
he's
think
out of
it.
there.
I'm pretty sure by the rule book, he's automatically out of the game, thrown out, and there's a 15-yard penalty tacked onto it.
Yeah.
So the refs didn't see it; they didn't catch it. Obviously, it's behind the benches; it's all the way up on the wall. Like, there's no reason for the refs to be looking over there. It's during like actual action and everything too. So like, great job on DK for disguising it, but like, you can't be fighting a fan. I know Big Cat from Barstool has always been a fan of the rule where every player should get to fight one fan once a year. And I'm just like, yeah, I agree. Like he obviously had to say something stupid. Like, he can't be talking silly behind like it's just like talking silly on Twitter on the internet and all that kind of stuff. Like don't say anything
Yeah.
you're not going to say to someone's face. And if you're going to say it to someone's face, the repercussions for that, like that's up to you. That's on you. Like at the end of the day.
On one hand, like I thought what DK did was stupid, but on the other, depending on what the guy said,
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
you might let it pass. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. Crazy games, crazy week, week 16. It lived up to the hype. I thought it was going to be a fun week. We had a lot of good games to look forward to, and I think it exceeded our expectations. There's more crazy moments. There's more overtime. There's fan fighting. There was all the good stuff there in week 16. Kush, you got any last words before we get out of here?
Man, we got 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks to the playoffs, and it's gonna be a fun 2 weeks. I can't wait to see how this AFC playoff picture shakes up. Obviously, my team is a part of it. Is hopefully we can make the playoffs, and we'll see what happens then. But yeah, I think my favorite part about the season is just every single week, new top team, um, new powerhouse team. The power rankings look like they're changing like every damn week,
Crazy.
and I'm just glad we don't have to worry about the Chiefs. The Chiefs are out. Don't have to worry about those guys, and it's going to be chaos in the playoffs too.
It's going to be chaos. I do want to give a quick shout out to my boy Reagan. I don't know if he listens to this podcast. Big Stars fan, big UT guy, Texas boy. He flew all the way to Miami and bought a ticket for Quinn Ewers' first start in the NFL. That's how much of a Texas boy he is, how much of a Quinn guy he is. He had a flight canceled, had to get a very expensive Uber to get to the airport to get a new flight, bought a new flight. Absolute craziness. I don't think he got home until like 2, 3 in the morning today on Monday, December 22nd. But shout out to Reagan to going to Hard Rock for the first time to watch Quinn's first start, even though it didn't end up the way he wanted it to. I thought Quinn looked pretty good. So shout out to my boy Reagan. But that'll do it for Play Action Takes, HOPELine Media's NFL podcast. That's the Week 16 recap episode. Thank you to our sponsor, Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. If you haven't already, you got to go stock up. You got Blaze and Bloody Mary mix. You got regular Bloody Mary mix. You got Michelada mix, Margarita mix, all the good stuff, ready to drink cans with Zing Zang. Zang responsibly all season long. And shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code PATNFL. When you sign up, play your first $5 and get $75 in bonus entries. Thank you for sponsoring this episode. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already on Apollo HOU on YouTube or wherever you get Play Action Takes on audio platforms. And we'll be back very, very soon with the Christmas Day preview episode of Play Action Takes, HOPELine Media's NFL podcast.